Hello Kiwanians, my name is Anna Wu, and in this video I'm going to talk about ways and tips to recruit members without having to physically give them a member application and a pen. I'm calling it Contactless Membership Recruitment. And I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but what better time than the beginning of a new Kiwanis year? So here we go. The very first thing I would love to show you is an online membership application. There are many ways to create an online membership application. What I'm going to show you here is a tutorial and an overview of how to use Google Forms. Google Form is a very effective way to collect information. Once you create a Google Form, you can send it out via email or social media or messenger. Basically, however you can send out information, you can send them the link to your form. So the very first step you're going to do for a Google Form is you're going to go to google.com and you're going to type in Google Forms. Now, it should be the first thing that comes up. It should say Google Forms, and then you just click on that. And at this point, it's going to ask you if you're using personal or business. So Google Forms is part of the Google suite of services that is connected to Google Drive, and it allows you to have it all in one place, in sync and in unison. So for example, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slide, and Google Form, which is what we're creating here. So you're going to select personal and you can click go to Google Forms. And at this point, it's going to ask you to log into your Gmail or your Google login. I'm already logged in, so I normally like to start from scratch. So you click the blank. And at this point, I'm going to walk you through step by step of all the information that you need to create a Google Form. So the very first thing you're going to need is a title. So for this, we're going to put Kiwanis Membership Application. And for your specific club, you might want to put down here Kiwanis Club of the name of your club. And then we can just start asking questions like they would have on a physical membership application. Number one, name, most important, right? As you can see, this part changed automatically. So the answers that you can accept comes in many different forms. It could be a short answer, it could be a paragraph, a multiple choice, a check mark, a drop down, and then these are things that you can upload in your form to make your form more aesthetically pleasing or to explain a certain point. So for your name, obviously it's going to be a short answer. So to add the next question, you go over here to where plus sign and you click add question. And the next question we're going to ask them is their gender, just like it does on the application. So as you can see, because it recognizes the word gender, it's already changed it to multiple choice. So you can type in your choices. After you typed in one of the choices, just press enter and it comes up with another one. Google Form is very smart. It knows that these are the most likely things you're going to ask. Next question. So again, we're going to click this @ sign, and I'm going to put date of birth. And so as you can see, it automatically changed it to date. So at this point, I wanted to show you another feature. If you can see on top of every question, there's these 6 dots. If you just click down on the 6 dots, you can drag and drop. So if you decided that you forgot a question, like for example, primary address is going to be one of the questions that you need to ask for your membership application. If you realize that you wanted that first, then you could just click down and you could drag that up there. And now that's the second question that comes up. So at this point, I also wanted to show you some of the colors. So if you go up here, there's this little paint button. It's a customized theme. So you could click that to change the theme of the colors of your form. So this is your background color. It could be, blue, Kiwanis blue. But right here, you can also choose an image. You can import an image that you want to share, maybe the Kiwanis logo, but keep in mind that it's normally a banner, so you want to pick an image that is horizontally wide. At this point, I'm going to pull in a membership application that I did. So this is also one of the Kiwanis membership applications. As you can see, I imported a header, also right here, I could click add image. When you click add image, you can browse for the image you want. So that is how I added in this Kiwanis logo right here. And so this is my membership application. The name, the nickname, the gender, the date of birth, their spouse, their primary address, the city, the zip code, their preferred phone number, their email address, whether they're joining as a member or a corporate member, and if it's a corporate member, the name of the corporation. I also like to put in this disclaimer that is on the physical membership application. By providing your email address, I recognize that I'm opting to receive regular communication from Kiwanis International. I like to ask if they're a former Kiwanian, and normally I also like to ask like if they are, where. And then we always like to ask if they're a former SLP, a K-Kids, Builders Club, Key Club, Key Wins, or Circle K, as that there is different dues amount for them. And the last thing I ask is I accept this application for membership and agree to conform to the bylaws of this club and comply with the obligations of membership as explained to me by my sponsor. I ask them to type in their name, sort of like a digital signature. And then I also like to include some images of recruitment material. This is a brochure that I love because I think it has great photos. It explains our SLP programs, it explains who we partner with and Kiwanis One Day and just all the great things we do. And so for the people who get this form, they could just type in all that information and click submit. Before I move on, I also wanted to point out that when you're asking for a question, like for example, their name, you can also go down here and you could click this. When you turn this on, when it's bright colored, it means that it's required. It means that they must fill in something for this spot. So for example, corporate member or not, the company, this question would not be required because people could choose not to put in their company. Maybe they're not joining as a corporate member, maybe they're retired. So that is not going to be a required question. But for something like their name, their phone number, their email address, those are required questions. So you can check this button right here. Also, you can see there's also this button that says duplicate. So for example, if you're creating a form that you're going to ask for the same thing, you can just click duplicate. And for example, I could change this to spouse's name. And then another thing is this trash can right here. In case you added in a question that you didn't want, all you have to do is click this and it goes away. So this little toolbar that follows you around as you go from question to question really is everything that you need to know to add. You can add in a question, you can import questions, you can add in a title or description, you can add in images, you can even add in videos. And there's also, you can add in additional sections and stuff. So all of that is right here. And now that you have your membership application, how do you send it out to people? Well, right here, it has a button that says send. Once you click it, it gives you a few different options to send. You can send by emailing it to someone. So you could directly type in someone's email and I'll send them an email and it says subject Kiwanis application. I invite you to fill out this form. What I like most is this link right here. So you click link and it gives you a link to the application. Well, obviously it's pretty long. So you could click shorten link and right there, it shortens your link for you right then and there. You could click copy. And now that you have this link, you can copy it into an email and send it directly to someone. You could paste it on a Facebook group or on a post. You can paste it in a text message to someone, Facebook message, just about anywhere that you can send something to someone, you can send them this link. And once they have this link in their browser, once they click this link, it will be the application that you created. So if you want to see what it looks like on their end, while you're creating your application, you can even click this eye, this little eye up here. It says preview, and it'll show you exactly what your membership application looks like. So you know what it looks like on their end. Okay, so now say that they filled out the application. So now is the exciting part. You get the responses. So right here next to question, there's a tab that says responses. You click on this and you will show you all the responses that you have. It'll even show you a very nice graph if you're asking for a survey, you know, maybe what time you guys want to meet for your meeting or any of that. And also what I love most is this little button right here that says create spreadsheet. So if I click this, it will create a spreadsheet for me. So let me go here, and if I click responses, there's 18 responses, and then I click this, and it's going to ask you, do you want to create a new spreadsheet or use the existing spreadsheet? So for most of the case, you're going to create a new one, and you could create, and it's going to fill in all of your answers. For a membership application, you might have multiple people that want to get the reply. It's not just going to be the person who created it, maybe your secretary, your treasurer, or your president. When you click on responses, there's also these 3 dots right here. You click on these 3 dots, and you can click to get email notifications of new responses. So you click that, and it'll say email notification enabled. So whatever account that you logged into, that account will get an email every single time someone filled it out. Again, you might not be the only one that wants to receive it. So there's a button up here. It's also 3 dots and says more. You can click it, and you can click add collaborators. By clicking that, it shows that you're the email address that you logged in is the owner of this. You can add anybody you want that has a Gmail account. You can add people who don't have a Gmail, but a word of caution, it doesn't work very well with people who don't have Gmail because they don't have a login. It's restricted. So I suggest you add people who have a Gmail, or you ask your secretary to get a Gmail account. And once you add them, you can change their level. They could be an editor, they could be an owner, and you can even change this to anybody who has this specific link can be an editor of this form. So for someone who doesn't have a Gmail, this might be the better way to go. You copy this link and you send it to them. So anybody who has this link can make changes or see responses to the form. But you also want to be careful of that. You don't want to send this link out to your members or to potential members because, again, as an editor, they can see all the replies. So you want to protect the people who fill out the membership application's privacy. And now you have an online membership application, just like that. So as you can see, it's very simple. It might take you a little bit longer the first time you're doing this, but really just play around with it, click around. You can't really mess anything up. If you add in a question you don't like or you accidentally add in an extra one, what you do is clean it up and you just delete it. And now, with that said, you have all the tips and information to create your own online membership application for your club. I hope you found this video useful and are able to send your online membership application to as many potential members as you can find. This will be a first video in a series of videos about tips to recruit members contactless. Please check back at the Kiwanis CNH YouTube channel for more videos. Our web address is www.youtube.com/KiwanisCNH. The next video will be about easy ways to share links with new people that you meet. We'll talk about the pros and cons of QR code and also introducing a new application called Linktree. Thanks, and see you soon.